Today I'm gonna give you the best tips to make fondant roses. I'm gonna add some CMC to harden the fondant and make the leaves stay up. If the fondant starts being sticky, you can add some cornstarch. I'm gonna roll it as thin as I can. For the next round of petals, I'm gonna cut one small and one big. And with the help of a toothpick, I'm gonna make the center of my flower. The best tip that I can give you is to make this one day in advance, so they will be super dry. At the point that you put the petals, it won't fall. Here is my fondant glue, which I created with cold water and CMC. I'm gonna dump the toothpick inside. So for the first layer of petals, I'm gonna stick this in the center. And with the help of a brush, I'm gonna start adding the glue. Okay. Once you have the first petal, you go with the one that it's against it. And it's gonna hug the other petal that you put first. Usually for thin petals, something that you can find at home will be this kind of material that you can find at a craft store and a sponge. To thin out the petals, we're gonna use this kind of tool. Make sure your tool is diagonal and that half of the tool is on top of the petal and then the other half is on top of your foam. Now to give the deepness to the petal, I'm gonna put it in my sponge. And with the same tool, I'm gonna try to pull from outside to inside. Let the petals sit for a couple of minutes, so when you put it on top of your flower, they won't fall. I'm gonna start assembling my rose. So I'm gonna start with this one, and just make sure that every time you pull up a petal, it goes a little bit on top of the last one. And for the last petal, just make sure it goes underneath the first one. This is the final results for the flowers. If you want, you can add dust powder to intensify the color of the flower, or you can add like a sheen or a glitter. The sky is the limit.